right now Valkyrie is being right-clicked here. Talk about another hero that's poor against Shackled.
That's true, yeah. The shackled really is something definitely of concern when going up against him. But maybe they figure if they have so many things that are good against or bad against shackle that it is a single target ability after all. So only can really put it on one thing. So maybe there honestly is some logic there. But yeah, we'll see if they end up with that Valkyrie pickup or not. But Doctor Repulsor, Parasite Clanks, the bands to follow so far. Again, the other series going on, guys. We got Complexity versus Revolution, the other one here. So keep an eye on that series too, and see how they match up there. They too are also in the draft currently. So these two series though to finish off for the day here. And right now, Mewtwo, formerly known as, or also known as Flex Kavana, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So a name that, at least at the beginning of the season, that's what he was. So just to clarify there. There's Oogie coming out. And now one more.
Yeah, that's a cool name. Mewtwo is a really cool nickname.
Because it's a Pokemon or what?
Well, he's not just a Pokemon, he's the Pokemon. He's like the most badass Pokemon out there.
Yeah? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
Well, I know the first 150. I haven't followed since then. But he was very badass when I was a kid.
Yeah. He was he was like one of the creators or something. I don't know. There's some story behind that, yeah. I'm not even going to attempt to try to get my Pokemon lore on because I honestly didn't really follow it too much.
He was a clone of Mew. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's get back into the game. There we see the Andromeda coming out here. So yeah, Andromeda, I like that. That's a good pick here because obviously the swap is very good to get good against the prisoner target, and also against potential combination from Midas. Midas can juke Andromeda's common stun, seeing as Midas could potentially be suicide.
Yeah.
So Andromeda is not the best hero of boxing out Midas, in case it's a Midas suicide, but we'll see. Have you the silhouette ban? That's kind of interesting. The Parasite Yugi, the silhouette coming out from the Hellborn side as bans, but silhouette really? That's an interesting ban target.
I think Marcus Moy is definitely known as a silhouette player, so I think that a bit of that is more of a comfort thing probably. But, I mean, they already have the Swift Blade, sure, but yeah, I guess they figure that there's that potential that still could be a suicide. As things are lining up, though, maybe not going to be the case, depending on what this final pick is.
I don't know how silhouette would work here, though, in this draft anyway.
Yeah.
And you'd have, like, no, silhouette doesn't work, so I feel like two of the bans are kind of wasted. Both Oogie and silhouette doesn't seem to work on the Legion side. I couldn't see it working in any way. Then they would have to tri-lane with Magnus Andromeda. Mm-hmm. No. So I don't know. It feels like they're kind of wasted bans, but could be wrong, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe they could make it work. So yeah, Recent Game decided to go ahead and ban the Mage Bane, the Clanks, that Repulsor. So that kind of leaves very few carry options here. There's the Moongreen, there's the Sandwraith, of course. There's the Strength Hero. Strength Heroes could be good here. There's the Predator. Paradox, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to
see that.
Strength Heroes might even be a little better here going up against the Parallax. Heroes that may not be as reliant on that big mana pool is probably pretty important here, especially with that final pick Parallax. So, yeah, you talk about the wasted bans, and okay, they go Dark Liddy, so kind of that in-between there. Parallax, though, that could have been ban-worthy. I mean, we have seen teams ban it against Reason. Again, Sasuke has played it a couple times here in Cycle 3. He's kind of the only one that I've noticed, at least, since he became eligible here. And, he's gotten respect for it. They won a couple games with it, I believe, and obviously, as keep talking about, they have bans against it. So we're going to get the chance to see it here now, and I'm excited because, again, whenever we get a new hero like this that's put into the competitive scene, it's always, interesting to see how they fit and how they do, and going to be another example of that here. So they do final pick the Dark Lady, though, but yeah, what do you think about Parallax? I mean, what is Parallax going to bring to the table here, you feel?
I'll have to I'll seriously have to give you a response later because I honestly do not really know what he's like, what he looks like after the previous nerfs. Like, what kind of role will he play in here? It looks like Sasuke is gonna be playing a first position role or a core role because he does go for those farming kind of items. It's gonna be a suicide if Sasuke do it, I believe. Yeah, I believe so. Lots of region. Yeah, it's gonna be a suicide paradox. I
Really?
mean, he does have the silence. He does have the catch up.
I want to say
Uh,
they usually play at middle, to be honest. So I would be thrown off if they run a
oh yeah.
suicide here. But
Okay, it looks like it could be a middle paradox. He just has so much region, so it just doesn't make sense to me for him to go middle.
oh, that's a good point.
I mean, he's against the Midas, sure, but Midas doesn't have that long range. It's not like he's gonna get out harassed. I feel like that gold could have been spent otherwise. But
Yeah.
hey, maybe he's gonna need it. We'll see. But as Parallax, you want to get an early bottle, right? He's gonna go bottom now. Okay, it's
Okay.
gonna be a short lane Parallax.
There we go.
I must sound so confused to the viewers right now.
Well, no, I mean,
Max.
it's understandable. Like, again, this is not a hero that we see every day, and he is new to the competitive scene. So I mean, I'm really just like you. I've only seen one game personally on Honcast with it, and again, the one game we saw it was middle by Sasuke, so that's why I said that. But it's a one game example, so can't really say for sure. But yeah, he'll end up. You just want to talk about Magnus and Andromeda though here, middle lane. They're going to try to get a kill out of this. Midas, is he going to be able to see it in time? Nope, he does not. He does have Elemental War, but if they stagger everything... God, he's so tanky. A freaking gauntlets of strength, but it is enough for the kill in the end. So Bloodlust kill coming out for Bunny Lover there, playing the Andromeda. Yeah, good job staggering the stunts there on their side. Doing just enough to take out Midas, so... Well played. And
Well
now
played.
they're going to roam bottom, it looks like. So, yeah, I was wondering if they're going to go for maybe even an aggressive tri-lane here. Because Marcus Moya is actually usually the carry of this team. He's playing a Swiftblade here, but he is going to just be a suicide Swiftblade in the end top. As Ophelia gets caught. Oh, kill my neutrals, though.
Oh, that's so disappointing.
Yeah.
He should have been killed by a player there. That was very unfortunate. How does Parallax Q work with Shackled from Prisoner?
Oh,
Does
God,
it stop
I don't
the full
know.
conflict?
That's a good
Oh,
question.
I should know this. I'm supposed to be the inside here.
Yeah, come on. Everything. I would think no, because he's so reliant on that, but maybe, I don't know if that makes any sense, because a lot of heroes are reliant on their playing style of ability. I don't know. Yeah, that's a... Maybe it does, actually. That's what I'm thinking about it. Yes. I'm going to go with yes. So there you go. That's my final
That's
answer.
gonna be my guess as well.
I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah, we'll find out for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ophelia has transitioned into his own jungle. Makes sense, seeing as there was two rumors, Magnus and Andromeda, and he was just killed out by the Usual Creeps. So it is gonna be a Parallax. Gonna be having support down here at bottom lane. Magnus and Andromeda gonna help him out, trying to get some farm. And looks like we're gonna go ahead and hit the stun. And there we go. There's the good old ball and chain, and there's a beautiful stun from Magnus, followed up by Andromeda Comet. And boom, down goes Tortra.
It's almost like Parallax is definitely baiting that out there. Because
Almost.
yeah, Magnus and Andromeda coming in. Yeah, they were very well played on their part, and they knew that they had the response. So Sasuke confident in his teammates there, and right to be that, as they do help him, and they now get another kill out of it. So the early 2-0 start for this Legion side, looking pretty good, and Andromeda, big part of that, with the 2-0 start that he has. But yeah, I mean, how about this twist from Rexars here? So sending Prisoner bottom with Torture initially, and now actually Prisoner's in trouble. Jeez, I mean, you look at that right there. Parallax going in with a Fulcrum Shift, using the Ionic Dash, and enough with Andromeda there. And Andromeda is already 3-0 now to start it off. It's clear that now especially that these lanes are not going as planned for Rexars, and they're going to do some swaps all over the place. It looks like Midas going bottom now. Prisoner going middle, and I guess the top will stay the same. But Yeah, they made adjustments here.
Yeah, and that's the right call. They needed to do that. That's pretty much that's what they had to do, because that could not keep on going. And Midas can obviously solo down the bottom, shouldn't be a big issue. Parallax should be ahead of him now, seeing as he has the higher level, but Midas does have a full bottle. He is on the off lane, which means that he can easily go for the bottom runes. And which he will actually right now. He's going to go for the bottom rune. Gonna find himself a refreshment rune there.
Top rune.
So he has easy access. Like he can easily do something to the Parallax. He shouldn't be too concerned.
Wow.
I mean,
they're really doing the essence of roaming support. Now Swiftblade, however, I was going to say Darkly needs to be careful, because if she committed to that, that could have backfired. Now Swiftblade will be fine in the end. The rest of them, maybe. Andromeda stuns Prisoner, realizes he's coming over. Andromeda is eventually going to be killed, maybe. Are you kidding me? He's going to live. Oh my gosh. He actually will survive. He throws out the Aurora, and down it goes Rocky Balboa. That's got to be so frustrating. If you're Ophelia there especially. I don't see how he got away, but he managed to actually get away there. Andromeda, that is just ridiculous. He is 4-0-1 now. But yeah, I mean, this, and it's deserved. Like, they've literally been in every lane now, and we're only 5 minutes into the game. Andrew and Magnus, that is, and it's working. They're up 5-0 because of that.
Andromeda has such a big impact. 4-0-1. 300 gold minute without a single CK. Oh, actually he has one. Sorry, he has one CK. But 300 gold minute, that's very impressive. That means that he has the Striders now, the full battery, the full power supply, and a counter ward. I would presume that he would use the counter ward to... He could block Ophelia camps and really mess him up. But I'm wondering if he'll do that. He used the Veil Rod now, and he's going to go ahead and see if he can get a kill in the middle lane. Bubbles does have the ultimate ready, so this could potentially be a kill on the Prisoner.
Yeah.
And Magnus is going to walk towards the Prisoner as well. This should be a kill.
Yeah, here we go. Killfield coming out. There's a stun from Magnus, and Prisoner is going to fall. So that's right on cue, really. Just a matter of executing, and they come through it there. In the middle lane. Top lane, they realize the supports are not nearby. They're going to try to take the chance here to go for Swiftblade. He spins initially. He does have Swift Slashes. If anything to try to survive, I've also go for a turn kill. It's not going to happen, though. He will go down as the impalement and the auto attacks too much. So finally a kill here for Rexars. But in the end, we do have still momentum in favor of Reason. Big time. Yeah, I do gotta correct what I was even saying myself earlier, and I don't know why I thought, you know, sure enough, we're talking about it earlier. Sometimes we just say some silly things that doesn't make sense when you really think about it. Parallax would actually, in essence, be great against low mana pool heroes and strength heroes, because how it works, it's the Parallax max mana and the enemy heroes. It's the difference between it. So I don't know what I don't know what I was thinking there, honestly, but ideally it would be better against the lower mana pool heroes. So that actually does make sense. For some reason, I thought it might have been percentage based of like what they had and comparing the two. Like that's what I was kind of getting at. But yeah, no, it's not that. So just correcting what I was saying earlier. Dark Lady top lane though, he might be in trouble. Build Raw Magnus. Does this equal a kill? Probably. Maybe not. Charging strikes. Okay. Yeah, Swiftblade just couldn't get there in time, so.
Yeah, that was poor coordination between Magnus and Andromeda. Andromeda was not in range to stun, and that's what it needed to happen in order to kill the Dark Lady. And I'm about to say that as long as they can keep shutting down the Dark Lady, it's going to be really difficult for KNX to come back from this, because Prisoner is farm doesn't really matter much. And there we go, they go on the Dark Lady once again, but they turn to the Torturer, realizing they're not going to get the kill on the Dark Lady. And they get the kill. Ophelia now coming in and going to do some damage to Magnus, who's going to be falling here. Two people actually TPing top.
Yeah.
It's going to be dangerous for the mid tower and the bot tower.
Well, we'll see. I mean, Bubbles goes back middle. You see that right there. He's kind of trying to push it in now, get some pressure on the tower. But in the end, not going to be able to get a whole lot. He'll go for the double damage room bottom, though, which he will bring up right, or bottle up right here and look to maybe use for a possible kill coming out. Parallax, though, continues to free farm the bottom lane, especially knowing that Midas is now MIA, so feeling good about that. Parallax, not the greatest farm, though, honestly. And, you know, for not having any deaths here, I'm a little surprised by that. He's not even 300 gold per minute currently, as Prisoner gets picked off in the middle lane, so good find there. But he is 41 and 14 here at the bottom lane. I mean, overall, the big scheme of things, it actually is pretty good. It just seems like the GPM maybe should have been a little higher. But it is only 9 minutes into the game, and I'm sure it'll continue to get bigger and better as the game goes on.
He was up against the dual lane here, so it was definitely a difficult situation for him.
Yeah. Okay, we are getting confirmation apparently that so the shackle does prevent the parallax port or the ionic dash here. So if I'm reading that right. Yeah. All right, so there you go.
It's good to have confirmation on that. So Prisoner turned into an even better pick, but I mean it does a lot at least, but there's just so many targets. And you have to pick one, I suppose.
Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier too. It's just it is only single target, so you know, that's almost like a good strategy where you just get so many heroes or so many ideas. It's like, well, sure, he'll maybe stop one of us with it, but you can't stop all of us. Kind of deal. Bubbles, 400 gold per minute. He's having a great start. He's going to fall back here, which I'm curious about. I guess, yeah, he just wants to fill up the bottle, and he's going to port somewhere to make a play.
Notice how Legion side has kind of like completely warded off the left side of the jungle of Hellborn, so they have complete awareness. And the counter wards are being placed, but not quite catching. In lane, we're going to be seeing a push here, a counter push to top lane, but Bubbles could potentially set something up. He does have the Kelpie ready. He could hit 4 players right here. And there we go, he's going to do it.
Follow up. Is it going to be enough, though? Parallax using the Earth Shatter right there. Down goes Prisoner, and look at the damage to follow. Ophelia will get picked off as well. The Earth Shatter still doing work. He gets a double tap out of it, but Darkin now trying to hold his ground, but it's just too much. Bubbles and Andromeda, of course, they're helping, but I got to think Parallax was a lot of that damage with that Earth Shatter early on, but still plenty of it. So it's a 4-for-1 exchange. Yeah, the Kelfield doing works to start all of that. Look at Andromeda, by the way. He's 5-0-7 at 11 minutes in. He's already been involved in 12 kills. All 12 of them, in fact, right now. Not looking good for Rexars, I think, is is an intelligent thing to say here. Because it's certainly
speaking of not looking good, look at Swiftplay right here. He is not looking good. He got old ball and chain into a tower, and he's gonna try to spin his way out. He needs to get some jukes off, because there we go with another Q, and it's not gonna land. Oh my!
You know what? It's funny that you said you could. I'm glad you casted that, because I was also watching the middle lane. And it was also pretty poor played by the Hellborn team. Now they are gonna get a kill out of it. It looks like on a Bubbles eventually, and even possibly Andromeda as chasing him down. Yeah, they will kill him. But now Darklit is caught. The silence doing work here. He can't turning strikes. He can now. He's going to use it, trying to get away. And I think in the end, barely. Oh, because he's going to Ionic Dash in. No, he's not. It just wasn't enough damage. And Dark Hoodie will manage to actually survive. But you know what I was saying about earlier? They could have denied the middle tower. They were setting him with an invis minus the whole time. Unfortunately, they didn't. They missed the initiation as well. And so, I mean, still a big picture, though. The bottom tower even pushing on top of all this for Swiftblade. So some okay things happen there for Rexars, but it's okay. It's not enough right now. I mean, they're down now by 8,500 gold and nearly 5,000 experience, and we're only 12.5 minutes in. So they something needs to change. I'm not playing, so I don't know what, but something needs to change.
Bubbles, by the way, now has a sacrificial stone along with a PK. It seems he just needs another 200 gold. He's gonna get it. He's currently the top farmer in both terms of XP and gold right now, so he's gonna be very dangerous with that PK. And speaking of dangerous, down goes Torturer, Magnus, and Parallax getting him down, and Parallax now getting dangerously close to that Icon of the Goddess. It's going to be very difficult for KNX to approach the next upcoming team fights, because at one hand you want to go for the Parallax, but on the other hand you don't, because he's going to have so much HP. But then again, you can't just leave him because he has so much damage, and if you just leave him, then he's going to be just charging up icon charges and have eternal mana for these team fights.
Yeah.
So I think you're at a point where you need to go for the parallax, but you kind of don't want to.
Exactly, it's that catch-22, right? And he's going to try to help Magnus get out of the swamp to ultimately save him, and here comes the turn. No ultimate from Parallax. It doesn't matter, though. Still plenty of damage. They take out Dark Lady. They're going to end up taking out Prisoner. And now Parallax also level 11 on top of this. A level 2 Earthshatter going to be happening as well. As the Icon has got to be, yeah, just about finished on top of it all. There we go, the Beastar purchase. What's going on with Andromeda? I mean, I guess it is a counter to the Ophelia minions. So there is that, but part of me thinks that this is a little bit of kind of having fun with it kind of deal. Because I don't know if getting an Alk Bones on your main support, but at the same time, it's, you know, okay, so hear me out here. The change happened a while back to the Alchemist Bones where it gives you experience now. And I know that made it a little more Dota-like. Where in Dota, it does have the history of supports and whatnot. Actually, their Alchemist Bones equivalent is somewhat of a popular. I don't know if it still is. I know there was a phase where it was, at least. I thought that we were going to start maybe seeing that kind of be a trend. I know that the items are still ultimately kind of different, but the experience was, I think, kind of the big thing that kind of did it in. It's cool seeing it here in that sense, at least. Now, as I say this, Andrio's going to die, so Caster's Curse right there. But what do you think of all that? I mean, is there that logic, or what do you think of the pickup here for Andromeda?
Well, it's kind of like when you're ahead, like, get more ahead, I guess. I mean, Alchemist Bones is going to help his GPM to stay up there and stay up above those 250, even if he gets no significant last hits or any farms, any creeps. He's still going to have those 250 gold per minute.
Yeah. Which
is going to help him in the long run. And speaking of long run, there's Swiftblade coming out with the ultimate onto Prisoner, but he does jump right after, so that was definitely not worth it for him. A little bit of overextension coming out here from the Deep side. I think the Alchemist Bones was, I mean, it's decent against Ophelia, I guess. It's okay, but it's not something that you necessarily need to go for. There would be plenty of other items that would have been better, but I think he feels that he can make use of the Alchemist Bones, and it's a playstyle. It's securing that he'll remain farmed, somewhat farmed, or getting farmed in the later stages. And I think it was Kesu who said that an Alchemist Bones pays itself in like 7 minutes. I think it's something like that. I haven't done the exact math, but I think it's like 7 minutes.
Okay.
If you use it, whenever it's
on
ready.
Every cooldown, yeah.
Yeah, on like big creeps.
I mean, I guess you do have the charges, so you get a little bit of a window there, but still, yeah. On the right creeps, and there you go right there. In fact, Skeleton King is one of those right creeps, so Plenty Lover will gladly use it there to keep increasing the farm. So, but again, I mean, the big picture, obviously, his team is plenty ahead right now. So really, no matter what he got, it frankly wouldn't matter. But it does bring up an interesting discussion point, at least, as far as is this a realistic pickup? So, yeah, it's get further ahead kind of mentality for sure at this time. Parallax, I also find kind of interesting. Again, Slotsky's played this a bit, so I gotta respect, you know, what he knows about the hero and how he's playing and stuff. Getting Striders, though, on a farming hero just seems so off to me. But he does, and I want to say he went this the last time he played it, too. So this is kind of a preference, perhaps, with the Icon.
I think it's also, I guess it's also about you being able to upgrade into post-haste. And if you feel like you're going to get posted at some point, then I guess it's worth it. Maybe he doesn't feel like his Steam Boots is really putting that much value. By the way, Dark Lady going to get caught off here, and he falls. Parallax not jumping towards the Prisoner. But with that shackled, unable to use the full concentration.
Yep, that pretty much answers it right there. We were downing it, if anything, but it doesn't matter at the same time. Prisoner, you know what's funny about that? He hooked in Parallax. I don't even think he realized. And that clearly was a poor decision. He should not have done that. He goes down. Ophelia's going to be picked off, and the train continues here from our Legion team. We're only 18 minutes into the game, but you're looking at a 13,000 goal lead, 12,000 experience lead. Let's make it a little more, they say. A double tap for Cat Lamine. Playing the bubbles right here. I just don't know how much more of a beating Rexar's Reborn is going to be able to take here, because this is just getting way too out of control. Their Dark Lady just does not have any consistent farm going. Rune Cleaver, she still needs a second broadsword. The first one is almost done, but she'll still need a second one on top of that, and, you know, good luck getting that when you have Bubbles, Parallax, Magnus, Andromeda constantly roaming around and taking you out. So obviously going to try, going to have an attempt here, but not a whole lot of good things going here for the Hellborn side right now. But yeah, Swiftblade we kind of haven't even really talked too much about, but Marcus Moyes, you know, he was in the long lane initially, technically suicide, I guess you could say. It was a 1 versus 1 to be fair, but he's now 480 gold per minute, so it's he's transitioned into like the farming carry, I guess is the point here. And it's funny how Bubbles also has actually been on top of GPM this whole time. I suspected it would have been Parallax if anything, but Bubbles is just dominating. Jeez, 500 plus gold per minute for Catlamine here. It's just all across.
Yeah, Reason Gaming is playing very well right now. What I would like to see is that they keep on fighting. Like, they should not let the Dark Lady farm. They should not allow the Midas to get that PK and get those items. Like, Midas will either buy post-haste now, or I guess a Blessed Orb could also work. Mm-hmm. I suppose that's what we're looking at. He has 1.9k gold saved up. Prisoner could also potentially start getting some levels and some farm, even though he's been far behind. I mean, you're ahead. You wanna keep on putting up aggressions, and there we have it. And Robert actually getting that bound eye, and I think that's a very good way to do it.
Yeah, it is, but yeah.
Just keep on fighting, like, and take control of your enemy jungle. So, like, the Dark Lady will not have space to get that shrunken head that he so desperately needs in these team fights. Sure, Rundax is annoying that he has that, but it's the shrunken head that's going to make the difference.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
and remember Parallax too. I mean, this is probably not even going to matter this game here, but as they pick off Torture in the jungle. But Parallax did get the slight little buff there in the sense of the ultimate with the Staff of the Master, how it halves the cooldown, but it also creates the damage to be superior magic damage. So if that becomes an issue in a late game where the Shrunken Heads are doing a lot of counter to him, you get a Staff of the Master, and it just makes it so the Shrunken Heads really don't matter in that sense. So, but again, the way this game's going, that's not really going to matter anyways. At least it seems like it, because they are already knocking at the door here in the middle lane. I mean, Rune Cleaver is flying out to Dark Lady at least. We will have that. You look at the Void Talisman pick up, by the way, from Parallax. Speaking of him, very good item here, clearly. I mean, you got Prisoner and Dark Lady, a lot of physical presence here, and that'll allow him to just not worry about that while still being very effective in these team fights. So, an item that makes a lot of sense. Hellflower on Bubbles is also being worked on. Are they going in? They certainly are. They catch Midas. The hook will pull them in, though. But it probably doesn't matter as Parallax is still chasing. Now, he had the Void Talisman up, so he couldn't auto-attack. It didn't matter there, however. Cover of Darkness going to be used, and maybe a little too deep here for the Legion side. Andromeda will fall. That means the Bound Eye also down off to the side over here. Magnus will go down as Parallax is on the run. He still has his ultimate, by the way. Didn't end up using it there. Swiftblade is going to be pulled back in and killed, so a little too much dive, perhaps, from Reason. But they do have some room here. But you don't want to be doing too much of that against the Dark Lady, so you got to be a little careful.
That was a beautiful ball and chain command from Prisoner there, and Midas actually also bought back. Definitely a worthy buyback, but that's exactly what KNX needs, and now they're going to be going for Concord. And if they get that, that's going to be huge, and I believe they will. Even without an Abyssal Skull or anything, that's still going to be fine. They're going to be able to take him down slowly, but steady. Prisoner's not going to stand for this tanking, though. If he gets stunlocked right now, it's going to be grim.
Oh, uh-oh. Oh, no. Okay, he's good. Yeah, they're heading over now as the Legion side, but they're going to get there just a little bit too late, or are they? Magnus! Oh, boy! Right at the last second, but Dark Lady just got the token. However, he's going to help a fight take place. Down goes Midas, down goes Torture. They're going to make the token used right away. And now Dark Lady's in a horrible spot. She's going to be silenced off the bat, double stunned, and no chance for her to get out. So it was a risk. It was almost, you could say, kind of necessary. I mean, to make a play like that would have been big, as you were just talking about. So you can't sit here and blame them for doing that. But it's unfortunate, really, that they just got caught as they killed him. But that's big for reason, of course, and now that's going to really put them in a spot to try to even finish the game now, if anything, as they're pushing middle here.
If you do normal stuff when you're behind, oh, actually, we'll wait for that. Anyway, Prisoner gets initiated upon by Magnus, and it can pick him up.
No chance there.
Buyback.
Dark Lady has a buyback, but not using it. Obviously, I think that makes sense. These would have been lost anyways, most likely. So, what's the point? What?
There was actually when BMG and you know the old BMG with Hanskin and Super KG, they actually had the theory that buying back for some racks is just not worth it. I mean, of course, it's situational. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. But in this case, I believe like the buybacks are definitely not worth it for Dark Lady to use, because he needs every single penny right now. He almost has the Abyssal Skull, but yeah, he needs the Shrunken Head, but he wants to go for the Abyssal Skull first. So there's a long way to go. I would argue that he should just like try to go for Doombringer. Just get it out there.
just go first out of Doombringer after the rune cleaver and just be like, you know what, screw this. Yeah, that probably would never happen. But
imagine how much, like, he could actually one-shot pretty much all of them if they already used the stunts.
If he got it in the next 20 minutes, maybe. As they're going to find Magnus. Good find there, definitely. But Midas also going to be found, and now here's Parallax. Silence doesn't hit him initially, but he does eventually get silenced. Hellflower looks like it was used, and he will be killed in the end. Are we going to see an Earth Shatter here? No, we're not. Parallax is playing this very safe. Wow. I am surprised that Parallax is playing so safe. It doesn't matter. His team is going to, in the meantime, come back in and do work. I guess he did Portal Key there, and eventually I didn't even notice that. Anyways, GG well played is what ends up happening here. Calamine, 10-1-11 on Bubbles. I think that's definitely a very standout performance from him right there. And big reason for their success. But where did that go wrong, man? Just simply outplay, would you say, from Reason Gaming here?
Laning stage was the first thing. They miscalculated the lanes, I suppose. And you saw it from the get-go that the Andromeda and the Magnus make big plays in the bottom lane. Dark Lady was able to get some farm at first, but it just wasn't enough to, like, as soon as the tri-lane came Dark Lady's way, it turned out ugly. Turned out really ugly. There's some very, very good roaming coming out from Bunny Lover and Archie Tiger. It felt like they knew exactly where they were supposed to be, and they roamed perfectly according to their opponents. So when Midas went